The feast day today has two names. It is called Palm Sunday and also Passion Sunday. At the very beginning of the Mass, we blessed the palms and we read the gospel of the triumphant entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. The entry of Jesus into Jerusalem, it would have began on the Mount of Olives. You have the Mount of Olives, which as the name suggests is a little mountain or hill. And then you have Jerusalem, which is on Mount Zion. And in between them you have a valley. The name of the valley is Kidron. So you have the Mount of Olives. And the procession of Jesus into Jerusalem would have begun on the Mount of Olives. He's on the back of a donkey that no one had ever ridden. And so what happens is they go down through the Kidron Valley and then they enter into Jerusalem through the eastern gate. He didn't have a saddle. It says that the people took off their coats and they put their coats or cloaks on the back of the donkey, and that became his saddle. They took pieces of palm. Probably it wouldn't have been just individual pieces like this. It would have been like big fans of palm. And they took pieces of palm and they would have put them on the ground to make like a carpet for the donkey to walk upon, carrying Christ. And they would have held these big pieces of palm like over his head to shield him from the sun, to make like a canopy. And so he's walking, or the donkey is walking with him on the back, underneath the canopy and on the carpet, which is made from pieces of palm, and probably little children throwing flowers, and people were taking off their coats. And as Christ was passing by, the people were shouting. They were shouting. You can picture this. They would have had like a piece of palm or flowers in their hand, and they're waving these pieces of palm and they're shouting this: Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel. You know what Hosanna means? Hosanna is a Hebrew word which means save us. So they're saying, save us, King of Israel. And it's like they're acknowledging that he is the long-awaited and long-prophesied Messiah of Israel. They're saying, Hosanna, save us, King of Israel. They think he's a new David, a new great King David who's come to save them. Now this is just my interpretation of it. I see these pieces of palms that those people would have held as like a symbol of them professing allegiance or loyalty to him. Because they're saying that, save us. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel. Save us. So I see these pieces of palm like as them making a promise of loyalty and obedience to him. So these palms, from my point of view, represent a promise of obedience, promises made. Hosanna, Hosanna, little children. And 5 days later, they killed him. And 5 days later, they killed him. That's why the church wears red today. It starts off very joyful, this procession, with people acknowledging him as Messiah, King of Israel. And then we read the Passion and people screaming what? Crucify him, crucify him. So at the beginning, on Palm Sunday, Hosanna, Hosanna. On Good Friday, crucify him, crucify him. In most Catholic homes, you will see this. I bet many of you have this in your house, like a piece of palm behind a crucifix. I bet many of you have this. You know the real meaning of it, though? Lots of people look at it and they say, that's nice. But you know the real meaning of it? The real meaning of it is this day, which begins a joyful note. Hosanna, you're the King of Israel. We profess, we promise allegiance and obedience to you. We promise to be obedient to you. That's this thing. And 5 days later, they killed him. And so it's like promises made, help me out, promises broken. Promises made, promises broken. And when you look at this in your own house, if you don't have it, you should create it and put it in a very visible place. When you look at this every day, Don't just walk past it, like another picture on the wall. But you must ask yourself, today, will I keep my promises to Jesus Christ? Will I be obedient to the commandments and to my baptismal vows, my baptismal promises? Will I be obedient and loyal to the one who is the Christ? Or will I break them? Will I break them? And so that's what this is. This is a symbol of that. It's a symbol of this day, the triumphant entry with palms on Palm Sunday, and then the crucifixion on Good Friday. In every day of your life, you choose here or here. You choose with the way you live your life, with your own free will, whether you're obedient or disobedient to the Christ.